Oh boy, excuse me. Sorry, I noticed I was peeking over on that side. But I'm so excited. We have an original song that I guess is going to be part of the original soundtrack for Chaos Zero Nightmare. I know nothing about that game. But this is by Mori Calliope and Nerissa Ravencroft. I love this stuff. Callie has been no stranger to making music that's used for games and shows. And, making it about the show itself. The type of thing that I love about VTuber songs. I want to see you write something about your lore, about who you are, right? So I'm very excited for this. Yeah, I think real quick, I want to just check and see if she did all the writing for it, or if maybe there was kind of lyrics by a totally different person. Same person that it was composed by. Okay. Well, still. So then we're just going to sit back and enjoy the rapping and the singing. Let's do it.
Errors creeping through the core. Protocols failing. System collapse in 3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
Just a face on an old delete.
So we're talking about probably taking what's mine. That whole yeah. I'm guessing, so just based on the little snippet of stuff we got here, it's a dystopian world, obviously, as we can see, and there's something that we are comparing to a core, some sort of structure breaking down. It also has to do with yourself breaking down and choosing to better yourself beyond those circumstances, right? So yeah. I'll just say there's some facets of this style, the kind of orchestral rocky rap style, that I just don't like. And it's simply just because of preference. I just feel like I hear the same beats over and over. Not the same beats like verbatim, but you get the opening where someone is rapping or singing and there's heavy radio distortion on it. Also for the last bridge of any of those songs, right before the last chorus, maybe before a key change or something, you got to go back to the radio. It's just, we've sung this, we've danced this dance before. I don't know. Regardless though, we're focusing on their ability and being together on a song. You love to see that. So. Okay. Some of you will hate me for pausing. I don't care, because that's literally what is necessary on YouTube in order to not get everything you've worked for struck down. I feel like I have to keep telling people about it. Anyway, in terms of that back and forth, I feel like to draw from the lyrics for what's going on, talking about parasites, wrong coding, something not working on the inside, having to rewrite things, I feel like that's a very great metaphor for, something going on inside a computer, but also inside of a person, something affecting you in a negative way that isn't supposed to be there. It's a foreign thing. You could compare that to a lot of different things. If we're talking about the situation of this world, could easily be whatever affected this world to fall into chaos and is probably affecting the characters in the game itself. Really, really cool stuff. I love the analogy. It's just a great way of describing. There's multiple fights going on here. A war has already been waged with the Earth, as we're seeing with dystopia, with whatever the continued fight is that they have to go through, and then whatever's going on the inside. Maybe trying to figure out who you are. Maybe you are a robot that woke up with amnesia. You know what I mean? Ooh. So nice drawback to the flowers, the lilies, that we've had with her character so many times. I like that. Yeah, and I think too, while I would argue Nerissa is probably going to be holding back for a lot of this song, except maybe a few high pitch moments, I think Mori is doing such a great job with her singing. She's definitely been improving on it. And I think, just there's so much value to artists being able to coordinate well on a song. Especially in rap, you can get people doing collabs, and it's literally just, okay, here's your section, you rap about whatever, go for it. And if somehow it can tie into the theme of what we're talking about, great. But on the flip side, it means even more when you see that you're actually cohesive with what the other person's doing, right? Instead of just throwing in your part. So like they're harmonizing very well right there. I like that. Ooh. Yeah, so we get more comparisons from machines and stuff like that versus you being able to be affected by something on the outside, letting somebody in, perhaps the firewall, that kind of thing. That is something that tries to keep your computer safe from other things. What is your firewall is the assumption that I'm making here. A great little bit of rapping there. I like that. So oh, wait. I noticed something in the back corner. I thought it was just something swirling around Nerissa's head, like a crown or something, having a little bit of 3D on top of her model. But it looks like that's kind of so it's a bunch of jagged pieces of stuff swirling in a circle. I don't know if that's like an eldritch thing or like a biblically accurate angel type thing where you have stuff swirling around a force, or if that's literally like a black hole or whatever it was that caused this town to collapse. It's kind of folded in on itself like a neutron star, still with a little bit of gravity to kind of pull fragments around it. That's very interesting. I love that style of storytelling. There's so much you can do with maybe explaining how the dystopia came to be or not. You could go a variety of different ways. You can go into backstories. You can go into there's still a threat out there that's under the surface or in the air or in the water, something. There's always a route you can go. While I hated the movie for it, Planetarian is one of my favorite anime of all time, where this tinkerer who is trying to survive on scraps and finding bits of metal to sell and salvage and stuff happens upon a planetarium, and the planetarium is controlled by this robot woman who has no idea what's happened in the world because it's been like 1,000 years. But she's very interested in giving him a tour of everything and being like, yeah, you can look out at the sky tonight and we're going to open it up and show you what's going on. And she's just so sweet with having no understanding of what's going on. And it really helps the guy kind of, figure out some things. Very sad, but it kind of went a pretty okay route. I hated the movie, though. It absolutely sucked. But that's all I'm going to say on that. I like that. We fall, we rise, we override. So you're going up and down. So I like it when, for whatever reason, an artist sort of sings like almost the word like an onomatopoeia, where you're kind of singing what the word is saying. Fall, fall, rise, rise, override. Or giving emphasis with like, and then we shout it, that kind of thing. So I love that. I love that. It's very, very cool. And I also noticed the lilies being on Nerissa as well. So I'm assuming that a bigger part of the game here is about sort of redoing things over and over, being reborn as the story continues. So, ooh, we get to see a little more. Okay, yeah, so some force is keeping the fragments swirling. Nice singing. Wait. Dead coded. Okay, dead code. Never mind. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so even though I was joking about them hitting a high note before the last chorus, that was a good way of doing it. They didn't just go like or whatever. They both did very, very well. I almost couldn't tell for a second if they kind of overlapped or if Nerissa was just going to shoot up and Callie was going to kind of come in with a growl, but she really went for it. That was cool. If some of you don't sing, you won't know how difficult it can be to really slide with breath control and with keeping your tone going. You could do a lot in the studio, but if your singing voice peters out halfway through, it's not going to sound good. So, very good job. Oh, no reset. Never mind. It sounded like there was a lot of growls in the background. Especially during the bridges. So, very, very interesting. I enjoyed that. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Love to hear your discussion about it in the comments. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Thanks for watching.